Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead Season 10 and the extra 6 episodes. And I want to talk a little bit about Daryl and his search for Rick, which is apparently going to be happening in the extra 6 episodes. I believe it's going to be episode 18. We're going to get through all of it in the video. We're going to read the synopsis and break it down, as well as the little trailer they released, which Daryl does talk, or he does say something that hints at him looking for Rick. Obviously, general spoiler warning in case you aren't caught up or anything like that with The Walking Dead. And then also, if you're a fan of the show, be sure to hit the subscribe button because we have a lot of Walking Dead content coming up leading up to the premiere. And then also when the premiere or when the show comes back, obviously we'll be doing our reviews and breakdowns and all that kind of stuff. So be sure to subscribe if you're a fan of The Walking Dead. But other than that, let's get into it. Alright, so Daryl's been looking for Rick for a while now. Or I mean, he was looking for Daryl or for Rick for a long time before the whispers came and he got caught up in all that. So it's not a surprise that he's probably going back to it now since things have slowed down, since they're done with the whispers. It definitely makes sense for him to go back. And I love the idea that even after all this time, he's looking for Rick. Those two have had a relationship since the beginning. I mean, they didn't really end on good terms. They were okay at the end. Like, they helped each other get up. I remember Rick put his hand out to help Daryl get out of that hole. But they had a bit of an argument. I mean, actually a pretty big argument, but they did recover. But the point I'm trying to make is that these two have been through a lot, and I think Daryl obviously misses Rick, and that's one of the reunions that I'm really looking forward to happening sometime in the future. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, but yeah, I mean, that's something I'm definitely hoping that happens. Whether it's in the Daryl and Carol spinoff or in the movie or something. But anyway, again, we'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. But I want to go ahead and read the synopsis for episode 18 because when you look back at those episodes that Rick, or after Rick left and Daryl was out living by himself in the woods looking for Rick, this synopsis definitely tells us that he's back doing that same thing. So let's go ahead and read the synopsis and we'll talk more about it. So episode 18 is actually titled Find Me, which is a pretty cool title given the fact that Daryl is out looking for Rick. It's almost like Rick is saying find me. So the synopsis reads, an adventure for Daryl and Carol turns sideways when they come across an old cabin. It takes Daryl back to the days when he left the group after Rick disappeared as he relieves the time that only the apocalypse could manifest. So we actually got to see the cabin that they're talking about when they released the table read for the episode. And that's where Daryl runs into that new character, Leah. Now, we don't know if this is just some random person that is, staying in that cabin. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. But because just a cabin in the middle of the woods, I'm sure if you're trying to run away from walkers, you would go in that cabin maybe, or it could just be some place she's sleeping. So I don't know if Leah has any connection with Rick. I wouldn't guess so, but we do see Daryl going inside of that cabin and running into her. So I'm assuming that cabin is probably something somewhere where Rick was staying at, or excuse me, where Daryl was staying at while he was out looking for Rick. I do wonder if Daryl will find something that belongs to Rick. I mean, looking back at that Michonne episode when she found Rick's boots in that or on the phone, that drawing of Michonne and Judith, that was an amazing scene. Like Michonne realizing that Rick is alive, like that was awesome. So I mean, it makes sense for her to find out because that was her final episode. So I'm interested in seeing if Daryl's going to eventually find something like that as well. I think he might, but I do think it might be a little bit too early now because they have the Commonwealth and they're dealing with them as well. But what I will say is that I don't think it's out of the question, because let's say he does find something, he might want to go look for Rick, but that's when the Commonwealth can come in, because even if he finds something that belongs to Rick, maybe he just gets caught up with whatever happens next with the Commonwealth. That could definitely be the case. Again, he's also getting his own spin-off. We don't know what that spin-off is going to entail. We just know that it's a Carol and Daryl spin-off, and I don't think, maybe they could save it for that. Maybe he finds something that belongs to Rick in that, or if he finds something that belongs to Rick now, that spin-off could be them going after Rick. But yeah, I mean, I think the reason they're bringing this back is I'm sure there's going to be some purpose to it, There's no point in having Daryl, look for Rick again after all this time if it doesn't really mean anything. I'm sure it's gonna have some meaning to it. You guys let me know, what do you think about that? Let me know your theories on how you think it's gonna play out. But I want to go ahead and read or talk a little bit about that teaser trailer, because in that teaser trailer we have voiceovers for all the characters and things they're saying in the episodes, and Daryl said, "I'm not gonna stop until I find out." So something obviously triggered Daryl and searching for Rick again, I think, because why all of a sudden is he having this like whole "I'm not gonna stop until I find out"? It could, I mean, everyone is sort of thinking it's about Rick. I mean, what else could it possibly be about? I mean, because that's what he was doing before. He was searching for Rick every single day. It wasn't until Carol came and told him to stop and to come back home. And again, that's when the Whisperer showed up, so he just got too busy. So I think he's going back to looking for Rick. If I remember correctly, I think I remember Daryl saying something along the lines of like not being able to find a body. So that's still, I think, in the back of his mind. Like even throughout all the Whisperer stuff, he was still thinking about that, because he wasn't going to really give up. It wasn't until Carol visited him, and I think she was the one, if I remember correctly, because it's been like a long time, especially since that season 10 finale got delayed. But she was the one who convinced him to come back. Remember, her and Henry were there, and they all went back. But yeah, I mean, Daryl is out looking for Rick, and I think because they're having this episode, and the fact that Daryl is so dedicated to finding some sort of evidence that Rick is alive, and he's not giving up until he finds a body, which he obviously will not find a body because we know Rick is alive. Because of that, I think he eventually will find out that Rick is alive. There's no other reason why they would have this in an episode. Now, again, Michonne knows Rick is alive. Judith also knows now, and Judith could potentially tell somebody. She could tell Daryl or Carol. Now, I don't think Judith is going to run around telling everybody because it's not even confirmed. I mean, I don't think she's going to tell anybody until she knows 100% it's confirmed. Because yeah, like they don't know for sure, but she knows that it's a possibility that he's alive. So I think it kind of depends on how they want to play it out, and I think it'll be pretty cool if Michonne, if Judith does find out from Michonne, or somehow finds out that Rick is alive, then I think she could tell Daryl and Carol. Or Daryl could just find out some way on his own. We also have to remember Virgil is still around, so he can come into play again and say something to one of the characters. But this is all kind of things that I'm expecting to happen later on in season 11, because again, we're getting a whole other 24 episodes after these 6 episodes. That's going to be the final season, and I'm sure Daryl's going to be there. And I don't know if they would want to, if Daryl would want to find out, if Daryl finds out right now, and then have a whole 24 episodes before he leaves. So I think that's probably going to be a little bit later on. But I think this episode is really important because it's probably going to set it up. And it's kind of reminding fans also that Daryl still hasn't given up looking for Rick. And I absolutely love that. And then going back to that reunion that I was talking about earlier, you guys let me know what you think. But I think Daryl and Rick are, characters who I would love to see have a reunion. I don't know. I mean, with the show ending, it's not that the reunions can't happen because we still have to watch the movies. There's still spin-offs and other stuff, so the reunions could still happen even if the main show ends. And I don't know. For me, it's hard for me to see Rick's story ending without him reuniting with his family and his friends, or at least it's like his really close friends, like Daryl, obviously. So you guys let me know what you think about that, but I think it'll eventually happen, and I think the fact that they're still showing us, Daryl looking for Rick all this time, I think is deserving for his character to find, Rick, or, at least have some sort of reunion with them, whether it's on the walkie-talkie or in person, I just think he should eventually find out. Because of how dedicated he is in looking for him. But you guys let me know, how do you think it's gonna play out? We still have a long way to go until we find out anything for sure. But you guys let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about all this? Do you think Rick and Daryl, or do you think they're gonna reunite, or do you think it's not gonna happen? Because it doesn't have to happen, I just think it'll be pretty cool if it does. But You guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about that in the comments down below. But as far as this video goes, I am going to wrap it up there. Just quickly wanted to share this information with you guys because it does look like we're going to be getting an episode where Daryl is going to be searching for Rick, which I'm very excited about. But again, I'm going to wrap it up there. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating. And again, for more Walking Dead videos, just be sure to subscribe as we have a lot of Walking Dead content coming up. And as always, thanks for watching. Please take care and I'll see you guys soon.